All right, so I'm looking over all the math that I need to do, and it's a lot. And I only have about 50 days until the start of class. So in order for me to study this properly, I'm gonna need to put together a study plan. Yeah, I'm gonna need to put together a study plan. So I just did some practice. I'm going to put together a plan tomorrow and begin the process of studying. So that's studying sig figs, that's studying scientific notation, unit conversions, and other kind of like algebra, pre-algebra type of math that I forgot. I started doing some today and it's actually not that bad. I remember it. I remember some of it.
Are you ended?
No, I'm not ended. It's still going.
Daddy, what I need to do at the end.
All right.
Say it.
It's ended.
We'll edit it.
I'll edit it.
So one.
Don't do it now. Don't.
Okay,
You need to delete the video.
No, I'm gonna edit it. I'm gonna edit it.
What does edit mean?
Edit means I can cut this all out so no one can see it. They'll just see you come in and say, make sure to subscribe. So here, you can just walk in now. You just stand over there and walk in.
What?
So yeah, that's all I need to do, and I will show you some of that later on.
Make sure to like and subscribe to Chris and Canon channel.
I gotta get me one of them little, them little mics. I woke up this morning and I woke up around 5. I woke up at 5 something and started working at 5:30. So started work at 5:30, made me some coffee. Did my first word problem in maybe 10 years. Yeah, just about 10 years. First word problem in 10 years. I made myself an Anki. Anki's a great flashcard tool. It's kind of, I guess, as making flashcards are, there's some work that's required. I can tell you right now, the thing I need to be aware of for Gen Chem is attention to detail. So I was doing scientific notation today. I was doing a word problem and I made a couple of mistakes. I made a bunch of mistakes. I thought it was easy. I started off doing easy stuff, and when I did it again this morning, I started getting. If I don't get this together, I'm gonna be in for a real troublesome time. Because like I've been saying, like I said in the first video, it doesn't matter what study strategies I know or science-backed or whatever. If I'm not coming in with the foundational skills, I'm gonna have a really hard time. So I also made myself a plan. I have 6 weeks. I'm gonna study 4 days a week, maybe 5, Sunday through Wednesday. I am committing to only studying a maximum of 1 hour and 30 minutes per day. Max, no more. I'll probably do less. To be honest, I probably will do less than 1 hour and 30. That's 1. 2, I will never study more than 1 hour at a time. So what I'm thinking I'm probably gonna do is spend 30 minutes in the morning, 1 hour, in the evening, or 30, 30, and 30 somewhere. I'm gonna split it up, but I will never study more than 1 hour straight. That includes on days of exams. The whole point of this is for me to use science-backed strategy. So I'm trying to space everything. I want to space everything out, and every time I sit down to study is going to be an intense, sometimes slow, but intense study session. When I'm talking about study, I'm talking about work separate from the homework. When I'm given homework, I'm not including that in the hour 30 max. However, I'm going to try my best, because I do want to turn my homework in on time, not to spend more than 1 hour on homework in one sitting. So, which is going to require me, because I think Gen Chem I gets a lot of homework. I'm going to try to space that out. I'm going to try to do homework every day, a little bit of homework every day, less than 1 hour. I don't know if that's possible, but we will see. We will see, because if I'm slow, especially in the beginning, if I'm slow, I'm slow. So I want to break this up, break my studying up, because that's what the science says you should be doing, right? You don't have to cram. especially if you want to learn it long term, especially if you're pre-med and at some point you're going to take Orgo. Well, if you're going to take Orgo, that means you need to be focused in Gen Chem 1. You need to remember some of the tenets of Gen Chem 1 and 2, right? I'm not going to be rewriting notes from the lecture slides. I'm not going to be highlighting. I'm not going to be cramming or trying to memorize. Although memorizing gets a bad rap, memorizing is important. You have to be able to have some memory in order to build on that, to get to understanding. So you have to memorize to some degree. But if you do that on its face, by itself, alone, that is not sufficient at all. It's very important that as I do this, I talk about me, because I want people be able to watch these videos and see a person who, as an undergraduate, was not what someone would call a good student. I have a lot of opinions on the language we use to define students, but I'm just going to use the common language for now, and we can talk about the other stuff later. Looking at my transcript right now, I graduated college in the spring of 2014. I graduated with a 2.8 GPA. I thought it was 2.7, better than I thought it was. First semester, 2.5. Second semester, a 2.4. Third semester in college, 2.6. Fourth semester in college, because I was purposely kind of getting bad grades. That's a long story. I was arrogant, had weird opinions about college and why I was there. And my fourth semester, I was like, let me just make sure I'm not dumb. And I got a 3.6. Cool, went back to being mediocre. 2.6 in my beginning of junior year, 3.7 at the end of junior year, 2.5 in the beginning of senior year, and then last semester, 3.3. I only took 2 science courses. I took natural environment in second semester, first year, got a C-. I took general chemistry lecture C-. What kind of student was I? Every day, I'd go to lecture, put my hood on my head, go to sleep. I'd play basketball on the weekends, go out, have a good time. Graduated as the #1 party school in the country. I squandered my time. Mind you, I met the best people. From my freshman year roommate all the way to people who I met my senior year. Beautiful people. Met my wife at Syracuse. Have some of the best life experiences, great times, right? And I squandered my time. And I can say that with such authority because of how I regarded my studies. You're in college for your studies. I left college, by and large, the same person, very similar to who I was when I arrived. 4 years is a long time. I hooped. Oh man, I got buckets. Squandered. The moment I realized that I squandered my time was the day of graduation. The day of my graduation. I was a politics major. I should have changed my major to African American Studies, to English, American literature. I stayed with politics because I didn't care. Politics, policy studies, cool. I realized I squandered my time the day of graduation. How did I find that out? How did I realize that? At Syracuse in 2014, Syracuse's graduation, before they do the all-school graduation, they do the department graduations, the politics department and all that. We were at our graduation, and before the graduation starts, before people walk across the stage, they say, can all the magna cum laude people stand up? Can all the cum laude stand up? Can all the summa cum laude stand up? And they call them up one by one just to stand up and wave at their parents. I was watching all these people, stand up, looking into the crowd, looking for their parents, finding their parents, waving at them, saluting them. And that's when I realized, whoa, I wasted my time. It would have been so dope for them to say summa cum laude, whatever cum laude, magna cum laude, whatever. And I get to stand up and salute my grandmother, my mom, my dad, my aunt, my siblings. And to just be able to say, hey, look what I accomplished. That's when I realized, I think I missed the point. That was a moment of development. That was a moment of development that allowed me to be somebody different than I was when I arrived at Syracuse. That moment. That's when I decided that I wanted to be a scholar. And now I'm the Assistant Dean of New York University, Academic Support and Development. In a lot of ways, this project that I'm doing with Gen Chem I, yes, I'm doing it because I want to show students that learning is a skill. Yes, I'm doing this because I want to show students and people there's no such thing as a science person or a math person, that we are in control of our learning. We are in full control of our learning. And if we use the tools, if we apply the tools, we can accomplish things that we otherwise would not be able to. We will tell ourselves better stories about ourselves when we're met with failure or struggle. So like in that first Gen Chem exam, if I get a C or a D, I'm not gonna say, oh my gosh, now it's over. No, I'm gonna tell myself a different story. I'm gonna say, okay, how can I learn from this? How can I build from this? And hopefully I can still be able to get the A by the end of the semester, right? Happens all the time. I'm doing it for all those reasons. Another reason that I'm doing this is to kind of redeem myself, redeem my undergraduate self, and to fix that, to lay that to rest. Next week, I'm gonna do a pretest. One of the students at the University Learning Center at New York University, she put together a little pretest for me. 10-question Gen Chem pretest, pre-assessment. And I'm gonna take the same assessment at the end of the year. Spoiler alert, I'm probably gonna fail the pretest, but I'm gonna try not to. I told her to write something very basic. I'm gonna take that next week or 2 weeks from now, either next week or 2 weeks from now, because I might be a little busy next week. So my next few videos, I'm gonna talk about desirable difficulties. I'm gonna talk about these study strategies. So that's what's coming up. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
Make sure to like, subscribe to Chris and Canon channel.